Hey there, all my soul peeps. Angel of the Dawn here. Just decided to go live to do the Divine Masculine reading. Hey. I just decided to come on and do the Divine Masculine reading. Oh, thank you. Right back at you, babe. Yesterday was like some intense energy. Today feels much better. Although I was pretty lazy most of the day. How about you? Welcome. So right before I was getting ready to do the reading here, I was meditating, and before that I was listening to my YouTube playlist. Yes, yesterday was some heavy energy. But like I think Jupiter went retrograde yesterday, and it was some crazy intense energies with Jupiter. So but yeah, so before I started this, I was listening to my YouTube playlist, and the song I Am Machine by 3 Days Grace come on, and like my guides were like, divine masculine, like, so in whatever form or fashion. I'm trying to burn down the house here. That song could have to do with some divine. Hey everybody, welcome. I'm going to do a divine masculine reading, and I'm just not talking about a synchronicity or a message from my guides about the divine masculine. Different, hey. But a message about the song I Am Machine by 3 Days Grace. I feel like it's like their higher selves. Basically, it was like a message from their higher self for me to give to you guys. Is that they're working really, really hard. Like from the 5D perspective, they're not getting any rest. They're constantly working on these layers that are constantly having to having to be shed and worked through. So if you don't know that song, you might check it out. Again, that was not a thing. Something. Anyway, so there was another message that was coming through besides the song, but now I'm not sure, so we'll just start the cards and take it from there. Now my nose itches right on my zit. All right. Just talk about my nose itching now. It's just gonna start. But yeah, so again, the message from the divine masculine higher selves is, they're doing the work, regardless of what it looks like. They're not resting. But I also feel like, in the 3D, they don't feel like they can trust one. Like, hi, Lito. Like with what they're going through. Just like, I feel like, how they say we kind of give pieces. Hey, Nadia, how are you, love? No, Lito, go lay down. How like the saying kind of goes, we give pieces of ourselves to different people, or we're different people. How does that go? Like we're different aspects of ourselves with different people, or something to that effect. I feel like that's where the divine masculines are at. They're given different aspects of themselves to different people. And I kind of feel like part of this ascension process is, all those aspects are out to different people. But the ascension process to me is, pulling all of those aspects back together to become whole within ourselves. And so I feel like that's what the divine masculines are trying to do, because they've not been able to let, any one person see multiple aspects of themselves. Like, this person gets just this, or this person gets just that. And obviously they're multifaceted, but they're not letting anybody see that. But it's because they're not confident. They haven't pulled those pieces back within themselves to be able to give those back out, if that makes sense. So, okay, one more shuffle, and then I'm actually going to pull cards. Oh boy, I don't have my glasses on. I don't know if I can read all that. I'm here. I'm great. How are you? Sorry, my phone is really acting up. I couldn't comment on your live yesterday. Anyway, I'm here now. I love you too, girl. I'm doing good. Yesterday was a tricky day. I was saying the energies were pretty heavy. I didn't do any videos yesterday. I think I come out here and tried once or twice, but sometimes, like, I just feel really disconnected, and so I don't do anything. And then other times I go down that rabbit hole where there's so much going on in my mind and everything's coming in so fast that I don't make sense to other people. Not full sentences or full thought forms actually come out of my mouth. Like, just a lot of sporadic messages and different things come out. So I won't do videos then either, because I sound like a raving lunatic. I mean, I might sometimes anyway, but not to that, magnitude, not to that level. I try to keep my lunacy to a bare minimum. The Magician. Yeah, okay, I don't think I'm going to get the glare off of it. Death in reverse. Queen of Swords in reverse. I'm looking at, excuse me. Let's see, Queen of Swords in reverse. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh, out of balance. Well, hold on. This could go, because this could be them not wanting to change, or even fearing change. Like, they want things in their life, I feel like, are out of control and out of whack. But I get the feeling they don't feel like they need to change or have to change. Or, kind of like a little kid, they just don't want to, kind of like throwing a tantrum. Right. I think we all do, or a lot of us do. Some of us aren't as comfortable with admitting it yet, but we all get there, because eventually it just don't matter anymore. But there is a certain level that I do think they start sending the men in white coats. And as much as I like the "Coming to Take Me Away" song, I don't really want them to come and take me away. So. My grandpup boys are back home. If you guys can hear them in the background. I don't know what they're getting all crazy about. But so yeah, divine masculines, they're wanting something to manifest, they're wanting something to come about, but I feel like they're not wanting to change. They're thinking that things can almost like they're just like, no, this, you know, I didn't give anything to a situation. Like maybe they didn't give anything to the divine feminine. But yeah, you know, I'm not going to change, but I'm going to go back and just, you know, and everything's going to be fine. It's all going to be the way it was before. But they're in their head. And maybe this is actually them realizing that that's not the case. Or trying to decide the Ace of Pentacles. Trying to decide, do I really have to change in order to get this Ace of Pentacles, to get this new start? Let's get one more. Oh, shit. Got Temperance. Well, they're needing to find balance. And then if we... I wasn't going to take all of those, but I guess we will. Yeah, we're going to be able to see all of them. I think it's so awesome how many cards I can put across the table now. Except for obviously my camera is crooked. Because I'm having, oh, this is going to jack with me. Because I'm going to put my cards crooked so they don't look crooked on the screen. I think I have slight OCD, so this kind of thing really fucks with me. You guys see me straightening the cards all the time. So right now they're literally going at an angle for me, and it is jacking with me. Till he was, but then after the, oh wait, I was just like that today. Deal about basically about what the right, yeah. I'm sorry, love. I can't read those really long ones very good because I don't have my glasses on. Like, I don't wear the glasses because I can see the chat. You know, as long as I squint. But I don't like to read the cards with my glasses on because the cards are close and my glasses are for further away. And so I can't really read all of that very good. So the Star, I say the Five of Pentacles and okay, we got the Page of Cups, Temperance, the Page of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Star. Five of Pentacles is in reverse. And then we've got the Eight of Wands in reverse. Okay. So yeah, but what I was saying is I love that I can fit this many cards across the table and you guys can still see them on camera. Oh wait, those need to be pulled down. There we go. Yeah, mostly. All right, so there is where. Okay, so with all the cards out, I feel like the Divine Masculines, they're not seeing how they can transform. They're wanting to transform at this point, I feel like. But they're not necessarily seeing how the situation can transform. They don't feel like they have enough to offer. So they're very much in their heads about how is this going to be able to start? How are we going to be able to start fresh? There is going to need to be balance. But even still, like with the Page of Cups, I feel like this is almost like bruised feelings, like very tender feelings, almost afraid to offer them out, put them out there, because they're afraid with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. They're afraid of being left out in the cold, or, you know, being rejected, maybe before they even start, by the divine feminine here with the star. So they're not moving forward right now towards the divine feminine, but kind of like that song, I feel what's going on in the 3D. This is like what's being seen, but like that song was a message to give about what's going on in the 5D, what's going on in the higher. So yeah, like what's going on in the 5D and higher is a lot of work, a lot of, I feel like, shedding of layers and realizations coming in. And I'm going to do what next. Oh, that's cool. On the split, we've got the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So that's cool. So I feel like that's a message about getting stable, getting solid in their feelings, solid in their finances, in their home life, in their spirituality, like just really getting a hold of themselves in a whole new way. I'm also hearing like it's kind of like they're also a little afraid to get what they wish for. It's still something about not feeling like they deserve it. Yeah, there's something about not feeling like they deserve like happiness, or for things to work out. I'm not pulling that many cards from this deck, just FYI. 10 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of old like beliefs and baggage, from programming that is keeping them in the mindset of they're not worthy. They don't deserve it. For some reason, it's not justified that they get what they want. Crap. Okay. Interesting getting those. They fell underneath my little stool that I have on the floor. Exactly which ones were which way, but I think we had the Merlin in reverse. And then I don't know which one will come next. We'll go with Rebirth and the 9 of Wands. So I feel like there's a want to change. There's a want to make things different. There's a desire for this rebirth. But they don't see the way. Like they want to put down the worries. They want to put down the burdens. They want to step out of the programming, step out of the matrix. But they don't see how. Something is still keeping them from seeing, and it could be until they actually do have this rebirth, that they're not able to see. And there could be some, and it could be when they decide to surrender, because I feel like this Nine of Wands, he's been through a lot of shit. If you guys can see, he's beat up. He's got the bandage on his head. He's been through a lot. I feel like, he's been in battle after battle, and he just keeps coming back. Yeah, see, also too, we got these wands over here, and they all look bloody, and then the blood's running down the wall. So I feel like those are all reference to all of his battles, symbols of all of the battles that he is having to shed. Realize this is also lessons learned. Thinking back on the battles, surrendering to the rebirth process, and looking back on the battles and realizing why things had to happen, why they reacted in situations like they did, why other people reacted the way they did. And they're getting more big picture type stuff now. Or they will be. They will be, if they're not already. Because I feel like the resistance is being put up, not necessarily consciously. It's an unconscious, they want things to move forward. They want, to have this better life, this more ascended life, and point of view, perspective. But unconscious programming is keeping them in the lack consciousness, the feelings of unworthiness, and just not having any self-esteem. Got equilibrium. That's I think that's Temperance. 14, yeah. But this one's in reverse. So I feel like they know they've been out of balance, or things have been out of balance. Ow! Just hit my ankle. Okay, we've got the Two of Cups. So things have been out of balance in, I feel like, their love life in general. And also, I feel like a lot of times I see this Two of Cups as definitely a twin flame card, but to me, very much in the sense of our feminine and, hey, you, how are you? Much reflective of our own divine masculine, divine feminine within ourselves. So I feel like this is them realizing that there is an imbalance, and there's a need. The masculine side of themselves is getting beat the hell up because he's the one been running around, like a crazy monkey, and behaving like that, like a Neanderthal, or whatever the saying is. And this is the imbalance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within, and which will be projected out as well. Because whatever we have within is without, as within, so without. And so, but I feel like this is kind of, if they're not realizing it yet and not, trying to bring balance into the situation. I said I was not going to take that many cards. Let's see, one or two more. But if they're not already in the energy to start bringing balance to this, I feel like they will be. And really realizing and going into this rebirth. But they also, I feel like they have to have faith too, because they can't see the way right now. Their path isn't clear,
they know what they want to change. They know how they want things to be, but they just can't see the way yet. And so they're being asked to have faith in the universe and themselves, and in order to be reborn, despite the past and what has happened. Yeah. I feel like this imbalance in their masculine and feminine has put them, we've got the Queen of Swords here and then the Fool in reverse, has put them in situations where there's been an imbalance in their relationship, obviously. But where the feminine either, I feel like in some cases it was the feminine, like, demanding and like basically always had something sharp to say, but in other cases it's like the divine masculine has felt the need to suppress the feminine in his life, and so it's been almost like the opposite of the Queen of Swords. So that one can go either way, but I do feel like they're bringing in, and this is though to show them also, because they'll bring in situations and people in order to show where they need to bring balance in. So they may have been bringing in like not strong in the necessarily a positive way, but a strong feminine energy, like, oh, I don't know how to explain this. Why can't I find the words? Not like strong in a good positive way, like feminine power, but more like in a almost like a male hatred way, kind of drawing in man haters, because they didn't feel like they deserved anything better than that. So it's bringing in, or it's making them become aware of how they see themselves and their feminine aspect. So, and then we've got, I'm going to take that was the last one. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Druid, and that is the Hierophant. So yeah, of course, all of this has a spiritual undertone to it, overtone. But I feel like the divine masculines are starting to realize that. They're starting to see things in a more spiritual manner, from a more spiritual point of view, and like know that it's spiritual. Like it's been spiritual all along, but they haven't known, like they haven't, when they even looked out to see what was going on, it didn't feel spiritual to them. It just, that's life, whatever. But now they're starting to see that this is much bigger, much more divinely orchestrated, and that there's more than meets the eye. And they're starting to, really see the synchronicities and the way things are playing out. Certain things are being brought to their attention more often and more often, like it just keeps happening. Where I feel like in the past they've really tried to, deny when something would come up. They would just be like rationalize it off and really try to ignore it. Where now it's happened so much and it's been so in their face, I feel like, with the Nine of Wands here, that they're having to look up and take stock of what's going on and really start to examine why all that's happening. And I feel like they are also starting to seek answers, like online, maybe through friends, but I don't, again, like I was saying in the beginning, I feel like they aren't opening up. They're not sharing this aspect of themselves with others, probably because they don't want to be dragged off to the loony bin either. And a lot of times we feel that way when all of this starts coming up, because we're not crazy. We start to feel crazy because some of the stuff just seems like so far out there, and you're just like, WTF. So I feel like they're keeping it to themselves, and so I feel like they're probably looking online, maybe to religious leaders, spiritual leaders, things like that. But or it could just be like Googling certain questions, or just Googling for certain information, watching YouTube videos, things like that, to find out more about why they're seeing all these numbers, why just certain things keep popping up for them. Right. And I think it's a lot of us. I think it's a lot that's going on out there in the collective. But yeah, now I lost my train of thought. My hair is flat, kind of flat there today. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I've got. And again, I'm gonna keep bringing up that song because I feel like there was messages in that song for people out there. 3 Days Grace, I Am Machine. Even if you don't listen to that kind of music, give it a listen. Because I feel like there's words in it, or something in it for you guys, some of you guys out there, maybe a lot of you guys. But check that out. And on another note about songs, a couple that I've been listening to lately, Are You Ready by Shinedown? No, that's what. Are You Ready by Disturbed? Devil by Shinedown. Diamond Eyes by Shinedown. Several by Shinedown. And damn it, and Disturbed. I went blank. So anyway, that's what I got. And I might come back on in a little bit and do another live, for the elements. And if I do, it'll probably be closer to maybe 9. It's like 7 here in Oklahoma. But yeah, it'll probably be closer to 9 if I come on and do that. But I just wanted to come on and do this one. So anyway, love you guys. Thanks for being here and hanging out. And this is Angel of the Dawn. Same peace, love, and light out. Until next time.